this is the situation right now between Iran and the United States. The whole point on the part of Iranian is that the MOU was not respected by the United States from the clause number 1 to number 14. You know, the only after I assume many of you know what is in the clause number 1, because I repeated multiple times here what is the importance of that clause. It's all about Lebanon. It's all about, you know, the Israeli behavior in Lebanon and withdrawing totally from Lebanon. That was violated the day after signing the MOU between the two sides, the United States and Iran. The only positive point about the MOU, it was the sanctions on Iranian oil sector or energy sector, because it was not just only oil and gas, it was about the petrochemical products, as they call it in the MOU, derivatives. So that was part of the MOU. That was on Tuesday, the United States decided to put the sanctions back again on Iranian oil, you know, and gas and petrochemical products. So that part is gone, and that is the, you know, that is the article or the paragraph 9 of the MOU. That's not happening. The sanctions are not happening. The war is getting back. Donald Trump, every time he comes out, he's threatening Iranians and say, I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you harder. I'm going to hit you. And he says, there's some people in the United States, they were trying, maybe Israeli intelligence tried to convince him that Iranians are going to, when he was in Istanbul, they were talking about that Iran is preparing to assassinate Donald Trump. And the whole case is so ridiculous. I don't see why does Iran need to assassinate Donald Trump. There is no need for that, and this is not the behavior. I don't recognize this sort of behavior. I don't see Iranian behaving this way. They don't need that, and there is no strategic gain out of assassination of people. And this is the attitude. This is not the attitude of the Iranian government. Even with the war, when the war started, what was the Iranian response after the assassination of the supreme leader of Iran, which is so important? You've seen what has happened during the funeral. It shows how important the supreme leader was for the Iranian people. And millions, more than 40 plus million people came on the streets for his funeral procession. It shows the importance of his position in Iran and his character in Iran. But they didn't respond. Even with that attack, the assassination of the supreme leader, they didn't attack civilians in Israel or any of these GCC countries. During the war, 40 days of war, it was something, the casualties in GCC countries was something like 22 people were somehow injured or killed. It was because of the blast, because of those attacks, you know, on the American bases. That was all. I'm talking about civilians. I don't know, because when it comes to the casualties on the part of military casualties or troops or soldiers in GCC countries, the US soldiers, there are various reports in Iran, on the Iranian media, that says there are a lot, more than 500 or 1,500 people were somehow injured or wounded. So this is the Iranian part. On the part of the United States, it's something like 15 troops were killed. We don't know about the injured, and there is no report mentioning the numbers of those people, those troops who were injured. This is the reality. When it comes to the Israel, you see Iran has never attacked, civilians in Israel. They attack. The latest attacks in Israel, if you remember, was the Dimona. They attacked Dimona to show the power of how the Iranian missiles, or how they can penetrate the Israeli air defense system. That was the final stage of the war before the ceasefire being announced by the United States. I think that was one of the main issues for the United States, to get the warning that Iran is capable to hit Dimona. And whenever they decide to do that, they're going to hit it. That was the menu. It's not just about the United States and Israel being capable of using, the fighter jets going in Iran and attacking Fordo and other, nuclear facilities in Iran. But Iran is capable to hit back. The problem, the difference is that all the facilities, Israeli facilities, nuclear facilities, are above the ground surface. But all the Iranian facilities, even missiles, drones, nuclear program, it's all underground. Underground, it means that it's so difficult for the United States to bomb them, to destroy them. So we are witnessing, I don't know what is the situation in the Ben Gurion air base, because last time we've seen a lot of American fighter jets, refuelers there, being parked there and, without any sort of shelter. So if that's the case, still that's the case, that's a huge sort of fragility on the part of the United States. If things get worse, Iran can hit those targets in the Ben Gurion. So this is the situation right now. And my understanding is Iran sees no reason to continue with the MOU because has gained nothing. Today, the U.S. Treasury Secretary said that they're not going to release the Iranian frozen asset, which they have agreed on. And it was all about the Qatari government. You remember that Iran went to Qatar 2 times. The Iranian delegation went to Qatar all together. The head of Iranian parliament, the foreign minister of Iran, and the head of Iranian central bank. They went to Qatar to find this solution, or to find the way that they're going to get the frozen assets. It seems that the United States is manipulating the whole mechanism of receiving those frozen assets. As today, the U.S. Treasury Secretary said, we're not going to let them to get those frozen assets. And before, they have to behave. If they behave badly in the Strait of Hormuz, we're not going to let that happen. So basically, Iran is gaining nothing out of the MOU. Not Iran, but also Lebanon, because Lebanon was a very important part of that agreement. That's why they put it in the first clause. It shows the importance of Lebanon. And we know what has happened after that, as I've just mentioned. So the fighting is going on. Today we had some reports from the southern part of Lebanon that they're attacking civilians, they're attacking the villages in the southern part of Lebanon. The Israeli forces are using drones and fighter jets to attack these cities and villages in the southern part of Lebanon. I haven't heard the casualties, how many people were killed so far. But in the last 4 days, it was something like 4 to 5 or 5 to 10 people were killed in southern Lebanon. I don't know if you saw the interview of Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz, just came out moments ago, 2 hours ago. He basically says that IDF has been instructed by the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, and by Israel Katz, to prepare for an independent Israeli military operation against Iran. So they're talking about Israel attacking independently. What does that mean? I don't know if you saw the report on CNN saying that the United States doesn't want Israel to be part of these tit-for-tat attacks on Iran. They want to have full control over the attacks. They want their agenda is somehow different, maybe comparing to the Israeli ones. And so, but Israel has its own plan.